We have a substantive question about your view of certain areas of biotech. And the individual writes, although I personally believe in the promise of biotech, many people question its use in the food system because it is, one, exploitative of farmers by biotech companies, two, leads to a loss of genetic diversity, and three, is ultimately unsustainable in the long run. Do you have a response to these critics?
Yes. The best book on this recently is one called Tomorrow's Table. That it's a fantastic piece of work. I totally recommend it, whether you're pro-GMO, anti-GMO. It'll really bring you up to date on what has the science done, and it will talk to you about the history of organic farming. What are the true principles of organic farming in terms of helping the farmers, not using insecticides where you don't have to. And it's a case where there's a couple. The wife happens to be a genetic scientist who's done some breakthrough rice work that our foundation helps support. And the husband is a lifelong organic farmer. That's his thing. And they talk about what are the complementary elements and the tensions there. It's definitely worth splitting out two different issues. One is what the pricing and intellectual property is going to be for this stuff, and is that appropriate? And the second is, are there any long-term negative effects? And although no one's saying you shouldn't have to test and trial this stuff, in fact, the GMO crops that have come out have reduced billions of gallons of use of insecticide. They've helped poor farmers have higher productivity. There have been some pretty substantial benefits. The benefits to come in this area are really quite phenomenal, because new techniques like RNA interference should let us front-run diseases that get out of control and really decimate the poor farmers more than anyone, because they can't afford the other inputs and all the work that the production farmers are able to do. What our foundation has done is we've gone to the seed companies and we've gotten all the intellectual property from people like Monsanto, DuPont, Bayer, to create seeds for Africa. And those companies get no royalties in any way of any kind. They simply donate their scientists to work on seed varieties that combine the traits that they've done for rich world farming, drought resistance being a very, very important one, and get that in for these African farmers. Then we've also funded the regulatory groups in Africa so that each country on a sovereign basis can make a decision, given a crop, what are the risks and what are the benefits. And the benefits, say your corn grows 30% more in a drought year, and that you can prove that there's never been a negative effect, then that's a decision that country should make. So these things certainly are sustainable in the sense that scientific improvements in crops, we have a long ways to go. We've done actually very little. So if you get the pricing right, the safety right, it is the only thing where you can say we're going to reach a 9 billion people population by 2050 or so, and we're going to eat richer diets, the poor, not us. Say we cut our diets in half, that's a rounding error. If they just start getting to basic nutrition levels, we're going to have to do a lot more output. And you can't put that much more land under cultivation. That's a bad thing. There's some that's under cultivation that should not be. So what's the solution? It's productivity. And where are you going to get it? There's only one place to get that productivity, and that's appropriately used, tested, controlled, not too expensive science being applied to this problem. So I have a bias, but the book I'm recommending is less biased than I am.